What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing out there? Well, I'm going to bring you part 3 of the Pandrol Jackson 6700 build for Dave from the CCRX 6700 YouTube channel. Make sure you go to the description, check out his link. His channel's great. Alright, well, this video is a little shorter than the other ones, but I think part 4 is going to end up being a little longer. I hope you like part 1 and 2. So let's get after it, see what I've done so far. Okay, let's get started on part 3 of our Pandrol Jackson 6700 tamper. Went ahead and primered up all the parts. What I'm going to end up doing is using Mission Models paint brand, and it is the Highway Yellow. It's not necessarily a cat yellow. It's sort of a darker color than a cat yellow. So let's give this a shot. We'll hit them with the airbrush real quick and see how it turns out. A lot of nooks and crannies in there. So I'll just keep doing light passes until we get it and let each one dry in between and go from there. So we're making some progress. Let's keep going. A lot of fine nooks and crannies to get into, and you got to let them dry in between each coat. You don't want to overdo it in one shot. Couple more passes, I think we'll have it. Starting to shape up to be a nice looking tamper. Alright, got everything all painted up. The reason I wanted to get stuff painted is they want me to do hydraulic lines. And the hydraulic lines are very, very small. And you know, most equipment, hydraulic lines are black. I don't know if you can see this little thing. So all these hydraulic lines need to get attached to the tamper heads and the tamper points and into the machine. So if you ever seen the inside view of what the operator of this cab looks like, then you'll know I didn't want to put it all together and paint everything yellow. It just doesn't look that way. Here, take a look. So now you see what I'm talking about. The cab view is not yellow hoses. It is black hoses, and we want to convey hydraulic lines to begin with, so you just don't want to put it all together and paint it all yellow. So we're going to attempt to put these little hydraulic lines where they're supposed to go. Look how tiny that thing is. And we will go from there. But I'm still not done with the model anyway. I still need to add the handrails, the ladder rails, the exhaust, the air intakes, the seats, the cab, and the windows. So there's still quite a bit of work to be done. Then I need to highlight, you know, the laser buggy. You know, all that needs painted. So let's get after it. So I'll give you an idea what I'm dealing with here. I'm just going to dip the end into the super glue, and I'm going to put it where it needs to be. I didn't want to cut the lengths and then be too short, so I kind of want to do it this way first, then get the lengths and then cut it. So far these directions haven't been what I'm liking so far. So we'll let this dry and we'll get back at it. Alright, well, my hydraulic lines are drying in place. You know, it's going to take a while to do each one. I'm going to start painting the seats, the horn, the air intake. You know, what I do is I glue them to just an old barbecue skewer, a little wooden skewer. Pick up a pack of them real cheap. I always get the dollar brushes at the dollar store, and as you can see, I trim them off. I don't know if you can see that. I cut them down to make smaller brushes. Works pretty good. They're only $1 for a couple of them. They turn out bad, and you always throw them away and then spend a lot of money on them. For the seats, I'm just going to go ahead and use the old tester's paint. But my little tip that I do is I take a hollow point lead shot for like a BB gun, a slug, or whatever you want to call them, and I drop them down in there for the shaker. Round BB just doesn't, it's just round, whereas the hollow point, they've got the hollow point and all the edges, grabs more paint and mixes it a little better. So since I put them on a skewer, I can actually hold it and give it a good paint job without getting all grubby on my fingers. And it allows me to stick it back in the foam until dry. And nobody got paint on their fingers. So I'm going to actually go ahead and paint up these seats. I figure I'm going to leave the stem silver. That way, I don't even know if you're going to see a lot of the seats in there. But I'll just leave the stem silver. That way it kind of looks like one of them little up and down hydraulic lifts that adjust your seat. Might be kind of cool. Like I said, you might not even see it. But you never know, so we'll just go ahead and leave that silver, just in case. Be kind of cool if it does be seen. I might not even paint the underside. You'll definitely know you ain't going to see those. You can barely see it on this camera. Yeah, I like the bamboo skewers. Like I said, you can hold it. Let's let that dry a little bit. The old watching paint dry thing. And when you're all done with that, then you can just stick it, piece of foam, and let it dry. So we got all those painted up now, so I'm going to move on to the little hydraulic cylinder. Well, you see for the hydraulic, this should be silver going up and down. So I'm going to try and paint these silver and see where that goes. That's turned out nice. Gave a little bit of accent for the slides, for the tamper heads that go up and down. Yeah, that looks good. That's a nice little detail on there. Alright, so continuing on my progress, I've gotten quite a few of the hydraulic lines done. I've been working on some of the details on the tamper itself. Got the oil cooler painted up, the lifting points. I did manage to get the seats and windows in. Don't know if you can see the... But yeah, I just been doing some painting, some detailing. This video is getting a little long, so I guess we'll end up with a part 4. These hydraulic lines have been a little slow process. What you need, I found a good set of tweezers, some nippers, and a toothpick for the super glue there. But yeah, we'll continue on. Hope you guys like the build so far. Stay tuned for part 4. Thanks for watching and staying tuned and tagging along with me. Pappy out. Well, I hope you guys have been liking the Pandrol Jackson 6700 build so far. I think it went pretty well so far. And make sure you go back and check out part 1 and 2. And definitely stay tuned for part 4. I'm going to have a little surprise at the end. It's going to be a little longer. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. Pappy out. Make sure you check that description.